Welcome to Collaborati. In this video, we will review the process of creating a Collaborati profile for the first time. If you have not received an email asking you to join Collaborati, please contact your client or Collaborati support for additional information. Once you receive an email similar to the one shown here, click the link to direct you to the Collaborati welcome screen. The first step in activating your Collaborati profile is to read the Collaborati license agreement. This agreement contains important information regarding the terms on which you may access and use Collaborati. If you wish to print this agreement, note the blue link in the upper right labeled Printable Version. Be sure to scroll through and read the entire agreement. Once you have reviewed the document and agree to its contents, click the button marked I accept the license agreement. Click the next button to continue. The next step will require you to create a profile for your firm's Collaborati administrator. This person will be responsible for managing your firm's Collaborati users and settings and be the main point of contact for Collaborati support. Be sure to enter a valid email address, the administrator's first and last name, and assign a new password. Click the next button to continue. The final step of the setup process will email the administrator his or her login credentials. If you are the administrator, click the blue link labeled Login and Complete Account Setup Now to continue on to your firm's profile setup. The link will direct you to the Collaborati login page. Here you will enter your email address and password created in the previous steps. Click the Login button once you have entered your credentials to log in to Collaborati. Since this is the first time you will be logging into Collaborati, you will be prompted to confirm your account information. Since Collaborati uses a parent and child structure that allows a firm to have multiple locations or offices, first you will be asked to review your firm profile. Be sure that your firm name, tax ID, primary contact phone number, and email address are accurate. Also confirm the address listed below is the proper address. Make sure to check the Contact Information Verified checkbox. Click Next to review your firm settings. The settings here include options to create invoices manually or upload leads files, how your discounts are applied, retention settings for invoices, and other settings. Note the range for the invoice retention setting is 10 to 90 days. Take note of the blue information icon beside the settings. More information about these settings can be found in our help guide. Click the Save button to continue. Next, you will be asked to review your office profile. Confirm your office profile the same way you confirmed your firm profile. If your firm's mailing address is different than its billing address, click the No button to the right of your screen and input the proper payment address. Make sure to check the Contact Information Verified checkbox. Click Next to review your office settings. Office settings here include billing currency and time zone. Note, if you have multiple offices, you can choose a different billing currency for each office. Click the Save button to continue. It is important to note that these settings may be changed at any time by your Collaborati administrator. The next step is to complete the setup for your client. This will include reviewing the billing codes, submitting timekeepers, and, if your client allows for it, submitting timekeeper rates. Note the first message in blue that reads, "Please complete setup for client," where you will see the name of your client. Click on this message. You will first be prompted to input a client code, also called the client ID. This code is to be placed within your leads file under Client ID to identify your client. This code is unique to your profile and will never be seen by your client. If you do not use leads files to upload invoices, simply type the name of your client in this box. If you wish to have more than one client code, separate your codes by a comma as seen here. Looking at the table below, you will be able to see the available leads billing codes for use when invoicing your client. If at this time you know the billing codes your firm will not use, you may uncheck those codes from the Use column. Additionally, if your firm has its own unique billing codes, you may map those codes by typing them into the space provided in the rightmost column. Find the task description that best meets your firm's unique code and input your code in the corresponding space provided. Use the scroll bar to navigate through the remaining codes. If at this time you do not know which codes to use, it is recommended that you leave each code checked. Administrators may disable these codes at a later date if they are not to be used. Click the Next button to continue. Timekeepers are individuals at your firm that will bill time on invoices. In Step 2, you will need to decide how you are going to enter your timekeepers. Once the timekeepers have been added, you will need to choose if you will add timekeeper rates or submit the timekeepers without rates. In this tutorial, we will manually add timekeepers with rates. Click the Next button to continue. In this step, you will create timekeeper profiles for timekeepers who will bill time to this client. You must create a minimum of one timekeeper profile to continue. If you do not have a complete list of your staff that will be conducting work for this client, you may add additional timekeepers later. It is important to note that timekeeper profiles are not the same as user profiles. The information you enter in this step is to identify people at your firm who will be billing time to your client. If he or she requires access to Collaborati to upload or create invoices, a user profile must also be made for that individual. Additionally, the email address you enter for each timekeeper profile will never receive notifications from Collaborati. After entering the timekeeper's email address, you will then be required to enter their first name and last name in the spaces provided. You will need to create a display code. This code is often the timekeeper's initials and will be used to identify the timekeeper on each line item within your invoices. Each timekeeper will need a unique timekeeper ID. This ID normally corresponds to their ID in your time and billing system. If you do not plan on using leads files, simply copy their display code into this field. The home office should match the office that the timekeeper is most likely to work from if possible. Select the proper classification from the drop-down list. You must pick the classification that best identifies this timekeeper. This is not a customizable field. Once you have filled out each field for your timekeeper, click the Add button. You will see their information populate in the table below. Additional timekeeper fields are available. Note that some clients may require these fields. Refer to your client's billing guidelines for requirements. Take time now to enter your timekeepers. As you create additional timekeepers, you will see them in the list below. If you need to make changes to a timekeeper's profile, click the pencil icon for that timekeeper. You will notice their information populate in the fields above. Make the appropriate changes and click the OK button. If you will not add rates to the timekeepers, click the Submit button. To add timekeeper rates, click the Add Timekeeper Rates button. For each timekeeper, enter the basic information about the timekeeper rate. Then click the Add Item button. Note you can add one or more rates for each timekeeper. Review the rate items at the bottom of the page. If you need to make changes to a timekeeper's rate, click the pencil icon for that rate item. Once you are finished, click the Next button to proceed to the final step. The final step will require you to review the information you have saved throughout this process. If everything looks correct, click the Submit button to finalize the client setup process. Your timekeepers and rates have now been sent to your client. Note that the status for your client appears as Waiting for Client Authorization. You will need to wait just a few days for your client to verify this information and authorize your firm for e-billing. Once the setup is complete, we recommend that you sign up for email notifications. Click Notifications in the top menu bar, choose any notifications you would like to receive, and then click Save. Note that each user must set up his or her own notifications. To create additional users, click on Admin in the top menu bar and choose Users. Click the Add User link here. Enter the user's email address, select the type of user, click the Next button to continue. Enter the name of the user, then click Save. The user will receive an email containing temporary login credentials. Thank you for taking the time to review this tutorial, and welcome to Collaborati. If you need further assistance, please consult the Collaborati help documentation or contact Collaborati support.